The last couple of weeks it's been Game 7 mentality because you guys have had to win every time. Does it become easier to kind of play in those tight games when you've done it over and over again?
That's a good question, because it is. There's a lot of pressure on our guys. The way things work these days, and the way they publicize, the way they advertise or whatever, what's at stake all the time. They didn't used to do that, so guys were a little more oblivious, but now, yeah, we've been playing for a good while with a lot of pressure. And I don't know the answer to that, whether it does get easier, maybe. What never gets easier is winning conference games against good teams. That never gets easier. So sometimes it's hard to say, well, did you play tight, or were they just playing great defense, or it's really hard to judge those things. What you really can judge is just the performance, and then you try to, as best you can try to get an understanding of what your guys feel. But I just want to say I'm so happy for our guys. Senior day is so important to just, it's not the end of the world, but you just want to give them a great feeling on the last day, and especially with what's at stake for us, an undefeated home season. Herman said that we did that in 17, so that's twice, but the last time before that was 1956. So that's I want those guys to feel they did something that's, pretty monumental at this school. Not since '56, other than 2017 when we did it. And I want them to feel that, and I wanted them to, accomplish that today. And obviously the game was in doubt, to say the least. And Tulane is really good. They are really good, and they're going to be really, really good next year. But let's not worry about that right now. But I'm just so impressed with their team, with Ron, with everything about them. I knew it would be a really, really tough game, but I'm so happy for our guys that they, under pressure for the last how many weeks, just did everything. How many times have we come back, even at home? How many times have we fought in the second half and had to make play after play? Look at our Cincinnati game, look at Houston game, just you name it. It wasn't like some easy breezy, every time we're up 15 the whole way and we celebrate at the end. These guys have had to dig down incredibly, and it's what I've been saying. I'm a broken record, but these are some competitive guys. I'm also really appreciative of our fans. They've it caught fire. They've been fantastic. They are a big part of this win streak. Our students, man, I don't know what we do without them, but they're coming out in full force, and they call it Moody Magic. I don't think it's magic. I think it's people get in there and they create some electricity, which we need sometimes when our batteries are a little down. We need somebody else supplying some, and they definitely have done that. So I'm really appreciative of our crowd and our fans, and particularly students.
You talk about the pressure, Coach, that's unavoidable with knowing about the bubble scenarios. What's your mentality with how you approach that with your team? Do you talk about that, or try to avoid?
No, never. But I know they're not, I know that they pretty much know. And I also, the fool's gold thing, and I will say this, the whole thing's fool's gold, by the way. It's like, where are you? Well, you're in and you're out, and you're in and they're barely in and they're barely out. And the truth is, those are all lies, okay? First of all, that's not the committee. The committee is not telling, and the committee is going to secretly figure it out. So they're prognosticators. Second of all, well, you're not really in if you lose the next two games. I don't mean us right now, but I'm saying 2 weeks ago, well, we're in. Well, then you lose 3 in a row. Well, you're not in. So why would we bother talk about 2-3 weeks ago, whether we're in or whether we're out? It just seems ridiculous to me. The whole thing's ridiculous to me. But the media, you wonderful people, and it becomes a sport. It becomes a sport of who's in and who's out, and none of it's true. But it does create a pressure, and our guys, I never talk about it. I never bring up, did you know that we're like 2 in or 3 out, or did you guys know? We say, look, we're playing in Game 7 every night, period. That's what we're doing. we don't have margin of error. We have a lot we want to accomplish. Part of it was trying to win the conference championship. We were in game 7 for about the last whatever, right? Trying to win the league, and we ended up, losing by a game, I guess. And so we didn't quite get that done. Proud to get second, would have been more proud to get first, but that was game 7 for us. That was one of our goals, try to win the conference. So they felt that. And I honestly, I tried to make it more about that than the other, but they're smart. They know what's going on. They know what's at stake. And I think while they do feel pressure, and at times they might have some tightness, it also brings out, which I think is the most beautiful thing in sports, it brings out their ultimate competitive fight to see how deep a player or a team will reach to just refuse to get beat. And that's how I feel about this team. That's what I think we do more than anything else this year. Yes, we make great plays, and sometimes we're really pretty to watch and all that, but in the end, what they've been able to accomplish to me is mostly about their character, mostly.
You talk about both today and throughout the season, your term is digging deep, or adjustments that you've made, and today Jaden Coleman had 17 points in the first half and 2 after the intermission. What changed? How did you rein
I decided
him
to
in
be
a
the
little?
defensive coach at halftime. I was not on the defense, no. I didn't notice, did he make some shots the first half?
Couple,
I didn't.
yeah.
Was that not unbelievable? He hit probably 4 of the toughest shots that anyone hit in this building the whole year. You guys agree with that? I mean, I kept telling our guy, you did nothing wrong. You're guarding the heck out of it. Those were amazing. I got to take my hat off to him. Those are some unbelievable shots. I did tell him 5 different times, timeouts, halftime, you keep playing like you are, he's going to start missing, because nobody, I say nobody, Curry, maybe, Thompson, maybe some other few, but they're not in our league. They're in that other league. But I will say, our guys, I said, he'll miss as long as you do that or a little bit more. Maybe there's a little bit more, and our guys, just play a little bit harder. Our staff was really good. We made some subtle adjustments, nothing big, but they were great, very helpful. It helped us in the second half a little bit. Of course, I'm not going to say what it is because we have to play them again, but they're a hard team to guard. They're a hard team to guard. They've got really good players, and what Ron runs is it puts you in a tough spot, and the floor is well spaced, and they've got, as you could see, a number of guys can throw the ball in, and good stuff. I've got a lot of respect for Ron and his team.
I know you have spoken all year about the goal of making the NCAA tournament, and now that you're at the end of the regular season here, what can you say about what it would mean to bring this particular group?
Well, a coach, every guy that's in the sport, every manager, every player, everybody, that's what it is every year. You want to do it badly. That's kind of the deal. You want to have a great year. You want to win whatever championships or whatever, but sometimes you have a team that you're really actually pulling for them more than you care for you, which is not to say I don't care. I care a whole bunch, but I mean, I would, whatever, just, they deserve it. That's what they deserve it. And I see coaches all across the country, stating their case and being frustrated and all that. And I don't want to be a guy like that, but I don't see how you keep this team out. I mean, my gosh, we got second place in a league like this. This is a really, really, really good basketball league. And I hope that our league, and I hope we get the respect we deserve. Obviously, if you win the tournament, you don't have to worry about those things, but winning a tournament is, 75% incredibly difficult, hard work, and a certain percent, maybe I guess it's 25, I don't know that it's really 25, but I said 75, and that adds up to 100, but there is a luck factor. I mean, there just is, foul trouble, bad shooting night, a guy, Coleman, shoots balls from 46 feet, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, there's a luck factor in elimination games. We all know that, and we're going to go there and fight as hard as we can, because we know that guarantees that it's in our hands and nobody else's. But we understand the challenge. But I'm going to say it again, that team should have a chance.
16-0 at home, obviously, but 1-3 on the road the last 4 games. I guess, is there any, obviously the crowd plays a factor, but is there any type of, home, the way you guys play at home, that you can actually try and bring forward?
Well, one good news is there are no more home games. Road games.
Yeah.
And home games. And, neutral site is different. When you go to a Houston, you go to a Cincinnati, you go to Wichita, you go to those kinds of environments, come to Moody. It's tough. Look at Houston today, what they found at Memphis. You got thousands of people there. The team is cranked up on high. It's a Super Bowl game for them, and it's really tough stuff. But yeah, I wish you could always play as well as we do at home. But part of the reason teams play so well at home is what I said before, that the crowd is a battery, is an energizer. And when there's a run, the thing really ratchets up, and all of a sudden, you play off of that. We have been a very good road team this year, not in the last few. Of course, one of them's Houston, who's lost once in 39 games or something at home. Wichita was another, which, how many harder places to play than that? But we've been a good road team, thankfully, because if you're not a good road team, if you can't win without the energy of your home crowd, then you're probably, you're not a great team. You're a team that is good at home. So I have confidence in this group, whether we're here, whether we're there. Of course, it's great to play at home, but neutral site, different feeling for everybody. It's a different little bit of psychology, because everyone now is in elimination. It is elimination. It's game 7 for everyone. How do you handle that? How does it feel? And sometimes guys respond to that. Sometimes they can get a little tight. And I hope that we go in there very, very motivated, but very relaxed at the same time. I think that's important. Confident is the right word.
You said after the last game that you thought you would be particularly emotional on senior day. What was it like for you walking off the Moody Coliseum floor for the last time with that senior class, and then in the locker room after the game? What was that like for you?
Yeah, it's hard. I love those guys. I love our team. I was worried because I know, not just because senior. Let's just say it wasn't senior night. Tulane is really good, and Tulane I knew was good enough to possibly come in here and win. And then you add to it the whole emotions of senior night. You never know how that goes. I'm always fascinated to watch across the country senior. Some teams play crazy good. Sometimes it's like, wow, what an upset. You probably saw some yesterday, but so you never know how that's going to go. But it is very, very emotional to me. It always is. I'm very sentimental by nature, too much. I wish I wasn't, but I am. So, it's sad, but it would have been really sad had we lost the game, and I would have felt like, as a coach, you always feel like you're a main part if things don't go well. I just always feel like, well, I should have done this. So I felt the pressure to make sure, we as a staff, myself as a coach, did everything to give them a chance to win. But, I don't know how many, at the same time, I will say in this strange COVID era, some of them are definitely seniors, some are definitely not coming back. They are out of eligibility, and then others possibly can, and I'm certainly not wanting to talk about to them or anyone about that. We're playing this year and whatever's best for them next year. But so it's also strange in these days to not, the old days you just knew, like it's done, but now there's a little bit of gray there, so that makes it a little bit different.